Welcome to what for us is take 2 of this introduction to this week's live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew. That's Jeff beside me on the screen. Don't adjust anything. I don't know what happened before. We did a whole bloody preamble and spiel, and we're about to get into it, and it's like I realized, hang on, we're not actually live, even though I followed the processes last time around. I don't know what's going on. I'm doing a lot of overtime this week, so my apologies. That's why we're late tonight. It's all on me behind the scenes here, so I'm having a bit of a fun little week here at the moment, but it's all good. Got a lot to get through, as always. Just to do a bit of housekeeping before we do get stuck in all that sort of stuff, Dave and Belle are both just taking a bit of a break. Nothing bad or horrible or anything like that. Just that we finished up a lot of things with the last season, and so it was coming to a point where do we start a whole new season again and try and sort of cram in as much as we can for the rest of the year, or do we just try and do things a little bit differently for the rest of the year and give some people that really have earned a good little break the chance to go and take one. So that's what we're doing at the moment. If and where possible, we'll get as many people from the crew across to have some fun with this. And we've got a few ideas, which if you've been Patreon, you'll have seen us teasing a few bits and pieces behind the scenes as well. So I've got a few ideas we're going to try, and we just want to shake it up and see how we go toward the end of the year, because we are not that far away now as we look at it. We're about to tick over into October, and from there, it's just a very, very rapid slide down toward the end of the year. So we are a lot closer to that. Yeah, and with everything we want to do, I figured there's a few things I want to try. It's to be a shorter stream tonight because we're trying things a bit differently, but this is the beginning of just something to try for a little while. Michael's here saying hi, Andrew and Jeff and everyone. Good to see you as always. Make sure you jump in the comments to say hi.
Howdy.
Yeah, this will be like I said, a bit of a short one, but we're going to sort of tweak and expand and play with things a little bit for the next few weeks, just to try something a bit different, like I was saying.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. See ya. Bye.
That's one way to do it. Not quite. It's funny how you actually on my screen, I don't know about anyone else, but on my screen actually froze then too, which made it even better.
All right. So, good timing.
Make it a bit more fun. But yeah, so tonight, just to make it, what we're talking about, we're going to try things. We're going to focus on, because there's so many Aussie releases that haven't been covered off as part of our Backyard Banger segment, and there's so many more cool releases to get. So we're going to focus on that heavily between now and the end of the year, leaning into our niche a bit more. We're going to focus heavily on the Aussie music, and we've got a couple of those to talk about here tonight. So we're going to discuss the latest album, or EP, I should say, album, EP, whichever, from Cicadastone, as well as the debut album from 74Kings. And then we're going to discuss the top 2 songs that are new in our Hot Rocks playlist, which is the latest from Alter Bridge with Silent Divide, and then a combination of 2 bands out of Germany with April Art and Liga Distortion with their new single, Double Trouble. We're going to get into those ones and sort of do a bit of, banter and chat with you guys back and forth, and we'll see if anything else sort of pops up as we go along things here. But yeah, that's it basically. Jeff, how are you going this week? You all right?
Yeah, I mean, it's life as usual, I guess. I don't really have anything to talk about too much. I mean, I got my private life that I keep separate from you guys, but outside of that, no, everything is pretty good. Work is work. I'm working tomorrow, public holiday here in Victoria. Is it public holiday in Victoria, or is it everywhere?
No, just Victoria for pre-grand final.
Yeah,
we've got King's birthday coming up in a week or so up here.
Yeah. So anyway, but I'd be working, because the money, right? Like, I don't mind making, $100 an hour. I don't mind doing that. But that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna enjoy it, and I don't know how much I'm making now, to be honest. I have no idea. But whatever it is, it's extra money in my pay packet that the government will go, and they'll have their hands out, and then I'll look at it and go, all that for that? What the fuck? That's
same way overtime, man.
That's what everyone says. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is, but I'm working anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's my life for a week.
Same here. Just working overtime, busy. There's nothing really new to report. As always, just got some good music to talk about. That's the main thing tonight. So we're going to do that. Get some comments in here first. Guru's here saying, greetings, Jeff Bells and Andrew Foggy Glasses. Good to see you, mate. Hopefully you're keeping over well. And Vinny, good to see you. Vinny's gone, evening, lads and family. Just a quick early apology for my behavior over the last 4 to 5 years. It's come to my attention that my mum legitimately smashed Tylenol during pregnancy. I counted 341. So that's as I was saying, reference, isn't it? Like, there's a whole lot going on over there, but we'll leave that one alone. Vinny said, could be worse, Jeff. Stevie Wonder pays $25,000 per month for children he's never seen. Vinny with the goods, as always. Good to see you, man.
Yes, always. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, this isn't going to be a massively long one tonight. We are going to keep streaming on Thursdays, but like I said, we're going to tweak things and make it a bit more dynamic, I guess, for lack of a better term. We'll see how we go. First things first, let's start getting into the singles. These are the tastemakers and hot rocks sort of things here. So let me open a page up on my screen here so that I can go through quickly the results of it. So in our tastemakers playlist, which is now both on Spotify and YouTube, if you could look for our profile and find those things, you'll find new songs in tastemakers for our Patreon people to vote on this week, and they are Uriah Littinen with Going to Hell, Gary Hoey featuring the one and only Lita Ford with You Know I Would, Mirador with Feels Like Gold, Paralandra with Sally's song, Testament with their new one, Shadow People. We have Blackstone Cherry with Neon Eyes, Catalano with Shadows, Shez Kane with Reckless, Carnival with Azora, and so on with Primal. Those are the new songs in there, which brings us over to the voting results for this week, which is the top 10. So the honorable mentions that got some love, but not quite enough to get into the top 10 were Boys at the Back with their new single, Jamie, and Mason with Martyr, a couple of Aussie bands in that one. Number 10 this week was number 3 last week. That's Pretty Reckless with For I Am Death. Number 9 is The Violent Hour featuring Zach Wilde with Hell or Hollywood. Number 8, Coed and Cambria with Entity Extraction. Number 7, Yuko the Trivial. Number 7 is Aussie band Willie J's 6v6s. That's All She Wrote. Number 6 is Tommy J featuring Kristen Starkey with Dead Ringer for Love. It's a Meatloaf cover. Number 5 is the number 5 it was last week, and it's in fucking I don't know how many weeks now, 12 weeks or so. This is Nesta Within the Name of Rock and Roll. Number 4 was number 1 last week, and that's the Dreadful Tides with House of Pain. And number 2 this week was number 2 last week, believe it or not. Hailstorm, Like a Woman Can, hasn't moved, has been loved 2 weeks in a row. Which brings us to the 2 new ones this week we're going to cover. First off is track number 3 on the list, which is April Art and so I got other notes here. That's all I can. Wow, all over the joint here tonight. Bit out of practice.
April Art and League of Distortion.
Yeah, League of Distortion. That's the one. April Art and League of Distortion, which, as always, we'll put a reference in the chat for you as well. There are links in the description box. You know what to do, people. But yeah, April Art, League of Distortion with their single Double Trouble. This is the latest from both. It's 2 German bands doing this one. They're combined not only for their single, but also to go on tour together over there and across Europe. So this is a song that's just basically celebrating that. And Jeff, let's throw to you. How'd you find this one? Track number 3 on Hot Rocks this week.
This was really good. I didn't know who these guys were. I'd never heard of them before. And if I did, I'm sorry, I don't remember. So when I heard them, I was like, okay. And then they've got a very, very polished sound, very, very polished sound. It's very slick, but they've got a familiar sound. Like it's they're not reinventing the wheel at all. They've got that symphonic, almost poppy symphonic, but it's got elements of heavy and stuff in there, obviously, which makes it rock and whatnot and metal. But it's very, very polished. Like it's shimmering. It's so polished, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it serves it quite well for what it is. So would I say it's overproduced? No, I wouldn't say it's overproduced. No, but I'd say it's produced within an inch of its life.
It's very slick. Yeah,
it is very slick, but that's a good, like I said, it serves the song well, and there's nothing wrong with that. I really enjoyed this actually. That what are the which chick is there's a couple chicks is there singing this?
They're both the front people obviously for this band. I don't know how it all worked, but yeah,
I don't either. But they both got awesome fucking voices.
They played well against each other too. Like the tonally was really great.
Really well done. Yes, indeed. So it's not like sometimes you can get that. It's not quite working out, and something's quite lacking. Not here. This is really really well done. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's fire, but it's smoking. It's smoking. it's getting there. It's getting there.
This is sparks.
Yeah, this sparks. So, I'm gonna give this 8 shots. I like it quite a lot. So,
nice.
8 shots, and I think you should check it out too. So, if you haven't, please do, people.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's funny how the vibe of this song is just one big celebration. Really, just so damn energetic. It's
Yes.
hard not to get swept up by that energy that this song presents. Yes, it's polished, it's slick, it's all those things, but it's just got this snap about it that's cool. It's got a very European feel to it. It's not that whole thing where you get the American sound wall and that kind of stuff, or the American production sound. It's got the very European feel and sound to it. It has that pop hook, that pop sensibility about it as well, which I think is really cool. But it's a cool, like you said, nothing here is complicated or reinventing anything, but it's done well. It gets your attention. The riff on this one does exactly what it's supposed to. The vocals in particular, I think, are meant to be the standout, and that's does the job more than in one way here. I think that as a pairing, the double act works really well across this one. Like I said, nothing complicated, but it's one of those songs that's a party anthem that just makes you want to get up and get moving. There's a big hook in this song too. You can hear that hook in the chorus in your head straight away.
Yeah.
And I think that hook is not only just the vocals, but also sort of the synth touch on top of that as well. So between the riff, the synth, and the vocal, you get this really cool impact that just stays with you. There's that the vocals are the highlight. That's the whole thing. I love the rasp both of them have, but also the cleaner tone. Like nothing is aggressive, but they have a smoky rasp for both the vocals. But also when they go a bit cleaner,
perfect.
Yeah, they really sort of split off a bit, but then they come back together. It's a really good pairing of the two vocalists, and you can imagine. And even though we're not going to see the tour here, you can imagine how well this would go live with both of these bands playing together. There's no doubt they'll play well with each other.
That's right. This would be a really good gateway drug for this type of music for people.
Yeah. Or for both these bands, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. So if you like this, if you like it, you go, maybe there's other stuff out there, and it could sort of lead you off into a rabbit hole, and you'll never come out again, which is what happened to us.
I know. And considering how much I love my German music, this might be one that I go and start exploring pretty quickly for both of these bands, which is always a good thing. Those collaboration things, but collaborations and covers are good ways for bands to sort of expand their audience. So it's always a good way to do things. It's a simple recipe sometimes overall, but like we both said, it's not breaking new ground, but it could almost be considered a little bit gimmicky as well, I guess, in some respects, but it just fucking works. And that's all it needs to do. It does what it says it's going to do. If you want to listen to something that's just super infectious with lots of energy, then this is going to grab. This is a song that will hit equally hard on either a party playlist or a workout sort of pump up playlist. It'll work on both of those ones incredibly well. It's got that energy about it. It's going to get stuck in your head no matter what you're doing. It's that sort of almost a bit like Red Hook here in Australia. Whereas there's that pop sensibility that goes into everything they're doing, that slick sound and that. But those bands actually be a really cool bill, all three of them together on the same one. But either way, this song's got a lot of energy. It works really, really well. And like you, Jeff, I settled on 8 shots as well for this one too. I think it's a great little track and a good introduction to both of these bands for me as far as I was concerned. So a big thank you to Jolie for putting it forward and for everyone in Patreon for the votes to get it up there.
Thank you, Jolie.
Nice choice all around. Michael's gone. Vinny, yes, your support of Collingwood is bad behavior. Hey, leave off. He sent Vinny's replied, I don't support them. My sorry excuse if a team sits the other end of the ladder. Michael's chimed in on this song, though, saying they sound great live, too, which is fantastic. He's gone, okay, 2 singers on this second vocalist from another band, just guest vocals. Yeah, I figured that much. And Vinny's gone, just a thought, have you considered retiring songs into an annual top 10 songs of the year playlist? Just a thought in case you wanted to shuffle Nesta out for now. No, I think we just keep it like a normal chart at the moment. I think it's fun for me to see how long it hangs on for and makes people that are voting actually have to choose to not vote for it as well, I think, which is the otherwise there's a get out of jail free card. And I don't want to give everyone a get out of jail free card. I want people to actually make choices week on week, which for those on Patreon, the post is up this week. So get your votes in before Sunday. So Saturday night. Alrighty. Next song on the list tonight is going to be Alter Bridge with Silent Divide. Just grabbing my link for it here, so give me a second. Cool. All right, in the comments, in the description box, as always, folks, you know what to do. This song in particular is the first single from the band's upcoming 8th studio album, which happens to be their self-titled album, which is due on January the 9th, 2026. And there's not a lot of preamble. Alter Bridge don't really need much of an introduction, I don't think, if you're watching us here. So, Jeff, how did you go with this one?
Yeah, I've never really been one of these people. Well, it's not that I don't like Alter Bridge. I've just never really focused my attention on them. And so I've always known about them. And of course, it's like, okay, Miles Kennedy and all that stuff. I know everything about them. And they're very, very popular. But for some reason, they just, I don't know. I can't think of another band that's like that, where I know of them. I like them. They don't make anything that's bad, but I never really, Disturbed would be another band that would be like that for me. I know about them, but never got into them. And that would be sort of the same with this, except this song is fucking great. This song might actually change my opinion.
Nice.
Not that it's a bad opinion, but it might make me focus, and turn my light over
to get your attention actually drawn to it.
Because I've heard some other songs in the past that I've been interested in. That Blackbird song, is that one? Yeah, it's a pretty cool song. And so there's been a few, and I've done a little bit of digging, but I've always sort of stopped and never got deep. This song is really, really good. So if this is going to be what's the new album is coming out, this might be my gateway drug to Alter Bridge. It's possible. Cool. I don't know. So nice. I'm gonna give it tentative 7 shots. I liked it. We'll see where it goes. I'd like to revisit it when the album comes out. So so 7 shots for me.
Cool. For me, I am one of those people that's a fan. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be a diehard fan like former cast member Wayne, for example, is one of the biggest Alter Bridge fans that I know. But they're a band that I've always enjoyed. Every album I've sat down and taken in has always been fantastic. I love Miles Kennedy's voice as well. I like his work in this. I like his work. His solo albums are fantastic, but also his work with Slash. And that as well is obviously highly regarded by most people. But I love his vocals, and I think that. But I think it's also what's cool about this. It's the first new song in a couple of years, I think, from these guys, and for me. Whilst I also really like, I picked Tremonti's album in my backyard, my Global Groove segment earlier this year. So for me, going over hearing Tremonti again, I'm always a big fan of his work. I've been a big fan since he went solo at all. I like his solo stuff a lot more than I like the Creed work, and his work with Alter Bridge is also a highlight for me in his career. But hearing these two guys, their chemistry between the vocals and the guitar work is really, really cool. And for me, it's a definite sound that is all their own. And it's funny how you got Slash with Miles, and you can hear and know who that is immediately. You hear Alter Bridge and you know who it is immediately as well. It's the same thing with different sounds and different sort of styles, but even though it's got the same people, they're two distinct different things. And I think that's a really cool little footnote on this one, tidbit that I thought was really interesting.
Indeed. Yep.
First off, the riff is fucking great. The riff is fucking fantastic on this.
The riff does riff. It's really strong. It's got that. Yeah. I like that right off the bat. Like the first thing you hear is that riff, which is really cool.
Yeah, it just kicks in. It doesn't wait. It just goes bang. And it's got such a cool fucking rumble about it as well. I think it's fantastic. Then, of course, you get Miles and his vocals, and the lyrics on this one are fantastic too. I love how for this band, and in particular for this song, it's the sum of everything rolled into one. So you get individual performances across the board that are fantastic. You look at the pedigree in this band and you have no doubt about their ability to write, perform, and do all the things you expect them to do. But it's one thing to have the pedigree, another thing to live up to the pedigree. And these guys do that. And then the individual performances not only are fantastic, but then the sum of the parts combining to make this particular song and whatever else I do is fantastic. This song as a collection of, an effort of individuals to create a single product is just fantastic. I think there's great space in this one. I love how the riff uses swing and groove in it as well. There's a menace sort of side. There's a bit of a menace to this one that I thought was fantastic. Like I said, the lyrics are fantastic. Top it all off. This one just the riff is kind of crushing that snap in the drums too, but there's also all that melody you're looking for. The drums, the bass, they're fantastic here too. Like everything is brilliant here. This is a really great lead-off single for this album as far as I'm concerned, because if this is what sets the tone for this album, for me already being a fan of this band, it makes me think that if this is the start of what we're going to get, then who knows how good it's going to be, kind of thing. It really does make me full of hope for the album coming up. But also on top of that, I think that what I was hoping for, which is kind of happening here, is that I think it's a song that will definitely please fans, in my opinion, but I think it will also drag in new people, which seems to be sort of working with you there, Jeff, at all. It's enough to sort of make your ears prick up and go, oh, hang on, I better pay a bit more attention to
what
this
have I been missing out on?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it. And so that's let's see how it goes when the whole thing comes to pass in January. But at the moment, I'm sitting there going, ooh, this is one of those ones where it will please the existing fan base and hopefully bring in new people as well, which is, for a band doing their 8th album, pretty fucking cool.
That's right. A lot of bands don't, 8th album, like they're done, their career's over. They're not picking up new fans at that point. So
Yep. There's a great change later on in the song, which sort of adds a bit more darkness to this song as well, which I thought was cool. It sort of starts off with a bit of menace, and then it goes a bit darker toward the end, then it comes back to where it starts. The solo, the lead work, and this just a cherry on top of the whole thing. It's not a long thing, not a long solo, not one of those epic things, but it's one of those ones where it doesn't need to be a lot. It just needs to be perfect for the song, and that's what the lead work does on this one here. I think this will make a lot of people happy. It made me fucking happy. There's a reason why it went to number 1 this week on our chart. Yeah, so well done to Kat for putting this one forward and taking that number 1 spot this week. Thank you for that, Kat. Yep, thank you, Kat. I gave it 9 shots because I want to leave a little bit of headroom for the album when it comes out. So I want to start off on 9, but I loved this. I could not stop listening to it. And every time that riff came on in my playlist this week, I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm in a happy place."
It's good. There's no question. Like such a talented band. I mean, like the musicians. Mark Tremonti. I mean, his name. He's got his name is actually a household name now. People know who Mark Tremonti is. He's not he's not Eddie Van Halen, but people, you say Mark Tremonti and people know, right? So that's, and Miles Kennedy, of course, the same thing.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I think they've done well. And I'm glad that it got your attention too, Jeff, which makes me think that it will be interesting to see how it goes. We're getting along a lot. Yeah, well, we're getting love here because Vinny's gone, this Alter Bridge track is a banger. So there we go.
It is.
BP's here tonight saying all it takes is one song to lure me into a band's catalog, and there we go. Good to see you, BP.
That's exactly it.
That's it. Can be as simple as that, and that's all you need sometimes. David's here. Good to see you. He's gone, g'day, guys. The dynamic duo. Yes, we've gone through the top of the show about what's going on at the moment, so I'll just go back and revisit that if you're a bit later on. Vinny's gone, definitely agree. One song and I was hooked on Those Damn Crows, and more recently Shiraz Lane, and that's what it's all about. That's why we go through these little songs here. And Michael C has gone Alter Bridge 8 shots. There we go. So we're getting some love for that all around. Nothing to not like. So that's awesome. Alrighty. Now we have a couple of Aussie bands we're going to go through and review their latest works. And these are all still things that are coming out. This is like an extension of our Backyard Banger. Instead of doing one band a week, I'm going to do a couple at the moment, to sort of try and catch up on a few releases that I know we want to get to as fast as we can, while also still covering off ones we've never touched on the show before. So we're going to start off with the new addition to our little catalogue of music to check out this week, and this is 74Kings. So the reference track for you all to check out is a song called Stitch. It's the opening track on the album, and the album itself is Rebirth. So this is 74Kings with Rebirth. It's 8 tracks, so 39 minutes. The debut album from this Victorian band that I believe is based more on the Geelong side of things.
That's right. That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Released September 2025 independently. This is the only recording from this band aside from a self-titled EP, which was released back in 2018, as far as I can tell. I also believe from memory this band is linked to the ashes of another favorite band here at the show in Ordemia. I know Dave and I both loved that band when they were around for ages. We were devastated when they called it a day. But yeah, I'm pretty sure at least one member of this band is from that band. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but that was just what I could think when I was digging things up. The band produced this one with the help of David Weir at the Brain Recording Studios. It's a bit hard to dig up a lot more information than what I've been able to get into here, but this was going to be next up on our rotation for Backyard Banger, as it was anyway. So we figured, you know what, let's just keep that momentum rolling along and keep exploring the great Aussie bands, because going to be a spoiler alert here and say that I really like this one. So I hope Jeff did too. And let's find out. Jeff, how did you go with 74Kings this week?
Well, it's interesting that this segment is kind of like Backyard Banger, because 74Kings, they put the banger in banger. These guys, fucking hell, guys, you have done very well. I was surprised. Not only was I surprised by the quality of the music, I was surprised by the production as well. It's really quite good, and yet it's not overproduced. It's not like super slick. It's just done well, and that's impressive as well, because it's like that shows a deft hand on the mixing board, right? To keep everything, because sometimes it's hey, a little more of that, pinch of that, whatever, Yeah, sometimes it can be too much, and not here. This is great. That song Stitch, that opening track, holy fuck, That had me right from just bang. I was just like, okay, you got my attention now. What are you going to do with it? And they didn't let go. They didn't let go. The entire album. This was this was a banger for me, real banger, and I really mean that. I really enjoyed this a lot, and so I'm looking forward to more from these guys. But I'm gonna come flying out of the gate. This is a 10 shots for me.
Wow.
I like this a lot. I like this. Every element of the band, the vocalist, guitarist, the bassist, the drummer, the production, everything was there. So I don't know who produced it. I don't know if it was self-produced by the band or if it was produced by
with help.
With help. Yep. Well, whatever. Whoever, fucking give yourself a pat in the back because you've done a great job. 10 shots from me. Bang.
Wow. Nice.
I'm walking home tipsy. I am lucky
you're already home, so it's all right.
Home.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. I can't disagree with anything you said there. I did tease at the top that I liked it. What was cool about this was that right from the start, this one just hits you with one among many killer riffs across this album. This, in some respect, at the start, put me straight in mind of Audio Rain. It's just got that straight up power. Stitch just fits the bill for me in that regard. But make no mistake, this is still its own unique and engaging beast. I'm just using Audio Rain as a touchstone, and I'll touch on it again later on.
Yep.
But for me, the grunt of this band is just something to behold. In their bio, they're billed as a post grunge hard rock band. That's definitely an accurate description as far as I'm concerned. However, there's a lot more than that to this and their sound. You've got some metal in there, you've got some stoner rock in there, you've got other elements that fit all together and combine nicely. There are some great riffs, like I've already mentioned a couple of times, but on top of that, there's these gear changes across the album and within the songs that sort of is almost like a rearranging of those riffs, and it's done exceptionally well. I've not come across many bands where you know exactly what they've done, because they just took the riff they were using as the main riff and just sort of changed up a bit to, make a bridge or something. They've executed it so fucking well.
I know. I'm wondering if it's them or like the producers said, hey, what if you do this? Because if it's them, fucking fire, guys.
Yeah. Like the writing here is so clever. Like it's not like, oh my goodness, so out there. It's just so neat and tight and impressive because it doesn't lose the impact even with the gear changes. There's some killer groove in this as well, where Stitch opened up with power. Caesar Stone follows that up with sort of more emphasis on groove and melody. And I love the use of harmony that starts to come in from that track and beyond as well. And even within that one song, the gear changes make those punches when they want to hit them land. There's some real raw intensity here that's just wonderfully put forward by the vocals when you're listening to this one as well. It's all loaded with melody. There's not anything overly gruff here. There's plenty of melody, but it's just got that grit which adds to that impact. It's almost like they're biting off the words, and that syncopated kind of rhythm to it really sets up and plays off of the riffs here as well. Everything here is about that rhythm and that impact and that pulse. And the way they sort of counter melody or counter riff against each other is just so fucking cool. There's a song here called Rebirth Reprise, and it calls to my mind a classic Electric Mare riff, but then just twists it all completely up again. That clever rearranging of things that are familiar or feel familiar when you listen to this album. Even if it's not a direct, link to that, there is a certain element if you go back in time but what they did with that and how they rearranged things, they took this straight up rock riff and ripped it into one of the heaviest tracks on this release, which I thought was fucking well done. So clever. And then on top of all that, you got this space for the drums and the bass on that track in particular as well. That one really snapped and got my attention. I mean, the open did, but then it sort of got better from there. There's this also great tonal quality across the album. So touching on what you said, Jeff, about the mixing here, I loved it. I love how little things like reverb are used in the more spacious moments as well. Like it just sounded like we've got two different, very different albums here tonight to talk about. And this one is the grittier of the two in a lot of respects, but the way they both used reverb and production to their respective advantages to complement and add to their sounds while still being entirely different to each other, the techniques used were just brilliant. And I love just appreciating that the effort and the making the production the companion to the music versus one fighting with the other one was just a really cool way to listen to, and the way they put it together was just so well done. Not heaps of solos on this one per se, but it's a collection of riffs that's to die for. And how those different riffs are used across this album, I thought was really fucking special. But that grit across the whole album is what brings brings you to their what I would consider to be their trademark sound. This just rumbles, like it just fucking rumbles from beginning to end, and that in turn allows the vocals and where they sit sonically and tonally and in the mix and that they really allow us to cut through, because they're not the highest high. They're not like a Miles Kennedy, for example. They're not up there, but because they're in the sort of mid range, because everything else is sort of rumbling along, there's this great cut through that's just given to those vocals, which is great because in addition to sounding great, it makes the lyrics really pop out and grab your attention too, which I thought was really clever. And I love the lyrical work on this one as well. I love the composition across the board. The use of stops and tempo changes, that was a highlight element for me. But that's slightly more, like I said before, staccato approach to their sound just makes this one leap out of the speakers for me. I thought it was fantastic. But there's also great contrast across this too. There's sways, there's sort of sway to it, but this also fucking just outright stomps when it wants to.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
This would be fucking impressive live. If you want to get a feel for what I mean, listen to the track Other Side. That just fucking stomps. It almost gets kind of Pantera-esque in the way it just has this swing and stomp to it. It just doesn't want to. You feel like you're riding the beast as you go through this album, and it's like a fun ride, though. It's fucking cool. The album itself flows. It flies by. I found this really incredibly easy to repeat spin. There's something that just drags you in and punches you in the face in the best way possible. Like, it's just one of those ones where you go back and say, please, sir, can I have some more? But there are some cool little details in this one too that obviously you can listen to it casually when you're doing stuff. It'll pump you up and get you going. But if you want to go into a deeper dive listen, there's little things in this one, like some Foley stuff, like there's some wind sounds, and there's like one song which has a train going from big left to right at the beginning of it. Those are little things that pay, again, a little bit more homage to the craft of the work done in the studio here, which I thought was really cool. So while you've got this grunt and groove and those things, another element they have here is they have this ability to really open things up. And that quality is also further helped by that use of groove and rhythm overall, but they can slow things down and open things up. Their use of space in conjunction with that timing they have already demonstrated across the other songs or across the board here, it's just A1. Like, they've just nailed it in terms of songwriting and presentation. They've smoked it. There's something here about that Pantera thing. It's not as aggressive as Pantera, don't get me wrong, but there's just something here in that regard between Audio Rain and Pantera. There are these little touchstones in my musical catalog that are like, fuck, they're really cool little moments, and it shows you how this one can swing between really being quite heavy in contrast, or context, I should say, but also melodic, but still punchy. It's just something special. I think a gig with Audio Rain would be perfect as far as I'm concerned. I think
they need to open up to somebody like that.
Yeah, and if all of this somehow isn't all enough, if our raving about it isn't enough to make you give it a go, then you've got one hell of a closing track with Moments. It's your first sort of real, slower, more sedate song. It's the closing track, like I was saying before, and it leans into the emotion even more heavily than the previous songs do. Where before you had this upfront intensity, now you got that earnest, heartfelt spot, which I think is great. And it's a really cool, different element to finish the album on. Again, great harmonies, great use of space, all those things are there. But what really makes it like sort of land and all stand out to me is the way it builds. It's for the second longest song on the album. It sort of builds up and has this crescendo. But that sort of crescendo is brief, because then it simply is allowed to fade away on an ever so gentle breeze that's both sort of haunting and beautiful to take in as you listen to this, the way the album sort of fades away on it. And it was just a really remarkable way to close off the album. That it was never a one-trick pony, but I'm glad they added that really something extra at the very end of the album. And I'm glad they placed it at the end as well, because it's a really fitting moment to end the whole thing on. look, across the board, this just fucking rocks. Like it's got all you want and more. And considering how popular Audio Rain are with our audience, now make no mistake, they're not the same thing. But there is something about this that if you liked Audio Rain, and I know how popular they are with our audience, I think they're going to check this out and go, fuck, yeah, this will be a sneaky one for a lot of people.
It is a sneaky one
this year. Yep. It's a really good one. So if you like Audio Rain, like I say, they are not the same, but I urge you to check out this band because,
please, guys. Yes.
Yeah, in general, check them out. But just, yeah, that is really a crossover moment that I think you'll enjoy. I think if you like one, you'll like both. This does what it says on the tin, but so much more than that too. Please give this your time. It's another Aussie band that deserves a lot more love. Like I said, this was a sneaky good surprise for me. Same as you, Jeff. It just sort of got me, and I was almost taken aback by how much I enjoyed this one on the first spin.
Yes.
But then after that, the enjoyment just grew each time I listened to it. This is a damn fine release. Well done by everyone here. Everyone here should be damn proud of their work across the board, from production to writing to performances, the whole lot. Like, this is just so good. It's a pretty good chance out there at the end of the year for me with the top 10s. I'm going to give it a 9 for now, but it's one of those ones where you just know it's going to build in your memory as the end of the year approaches. Yep. It's one of those ones where you go there and you look back through the list of things we've talked about this year and you go, hang on, I remember that one well. And that's usually a good starting point for me when I go through my list at the end of the year. It's like the ones that sort of jump out off the paper because there's something about it that goes, yes, I remember that one clearly. That's where I start from and then sort of go from there. It's one of those ones where you're not going to forget it anytime soon if you listen to it. So please, please do. I gave this 9 shots. I picked Stitch, Caesar Stoned, and Green Desert Jesus as my standout tracks on this one. It was really, really cool. So get around it, folks. Unfortunately, I haven't got any videos apart from one video from like 5 years ago or something now. So, hopefully you all liked it out there as well. Man Family's going, gee, the only show in town not footy themed. There you go. We do our best. We're definitely not going to be footy themed. Just having some fun here and going through a couple of Aussie albums. And on that, we've got one more to get through. So just like there's the grand finals kicking around this weekend, we have 2 albums to get through tonight, and that's going to be the end of it. So we are getting, I said it was going to be a shorter one. We're getting through it. So we'll be a quick time and a good time, both at the same time, and hopefully we'll leave you all satisfied, because the next one we're going to talk about is the latest from Cicadastone. The reference track is Long Way Down. There's a link in the comments, also in the description box. Go and check it out. So what we're going to talk about now is Cicadastone with their latest EP, Future Echoes, which is the extended acoustic EP of the album of the same name from last year. It's 7 tracks, 35 minutes. The first EP, actually, from this Melbourne band after 3 albums. Released May 2025 via X Music, produced by vocalist Matt Robbins at his Colour Sound Studio, which everything good is coming out of there at the moment. Just the one single has been released from this in Long Way Down, which happens to be the one entirely unreleased or brand new track here. That song is acoustic, as is the entire EP.
Yeah.
The purpose of this was to celebrate the first anniversary of their Future Echoes album with reimagined and re-recorded songs from that same album. About Long Way Down, the single in particular, the new song, Matt Robbins, the vocalist, said this song highlights the current climate we live in and the slippery slope that is cancel culture. What was once acceptable is no longer, but at what cost? And how far down the rabbit hole do we go before we have lost ourselves altogether? Long Way Down says it as it is. It's a long way down from where we came. Robbins continues saying, coming up on a year from the release of Future Echoes, we just wanted to do something special to celebrate the occasion. So we thought releasing a couple of more acoustic tracks would be fun to do. They're also doing a short limited run on CD, which is exciting as well on this one, repackaging the EP with the album. So why not? Again, gives the thing another bump a year later. We have reviewed tracks from this during Hot Rocks, for example. We've had a long, long love affair with this band for those of us who've been following the show for a while. So let's see if their first ever acoustic release matches expectations. Jeff, how'd you go?
What can you say about these guys that hasn't already been said? Like, these guys, as I've said before, it's no shock to hear them and go and immediately think of Alice in Chains, right? Because he's got those harmonizing vocals, and it sounds very similar to that. But they are so much more than that. And it would be a shame to go, oh, Alice in Chains, and then, well, why listen to, these guys when I've got Alice in Chains? You'd be missing out, because there's something about their music that just sort of, I'm not saying it's above Alice in Chains, but it can live comfortably beside it and have the influences and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. And And this acoustic album is a great album. Like when we reviewed Future Echoes, it was just like, wow, you know, we were just blown away by it. And and for good reason, because it's fucking the banger of an album. It's just stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
top 10s last year, both of us.
Yeah.
So
this acoustic is it's the same. It's more of the same. It's you know, reimagining and whatnot, but you get the impression that they're trying to say something, and they're trying to say, hey, we're more than just a one-trick pony, that, you know, we can do as well. Here, look what else we can do. Now, if I did have one criticism of the album, and this is just me being honest, is that because it sounds so good, and you get the same, like, I don't know if it's harmony. I'd be interested to know what tuning they're using in their guitars, because there's a lot of open string strumming. And so I have a feeling that it might be dadgad, or I'm not sure, but there's something in there, but that you hear it throughout. And so my one criticism is that sometimes if you're not paying attention, you can slip right into another song and not even realize it, because they start to blend together. That's not that it's bad. It's just that it's great, and it's great, and it's great, and great. All 7 tracks are great, but they have that, they sort of blend together a little bit. Whereas I felt on the album Future Echoes, it wasn't quite like that. So maybe it's because, you know, it's, you know, unplugged and you know, all that stuff, and going acoustic. Maybe it's because of that. But it would be interesting to see if they could try maybe mixing up the key, put them in different keys, change the tuning a little bit, because for me it was a little bit of samey. So, but I still enjoyed it. So I'm still going to give it 8 shots.
Nice.
I thought it sounded very well. The quality was well. It was produced well. And yeah, it's just a good sounding album. But my criticism aside, so 8 shots, but it's not a bad thing. Check it out.
Not at all. I think it's fine. I think on my side of things, I don't think it's any secret how much I adore this band and their work to date. On top of this, everyone involved in this band are some of the best people. So having this come through in the rotation for me, because it is actually, we just sort things via the monthly listener count in terms of priority. The lowest listening count gets the highest billing on our list here. But just to give these bands that don't get played enough a bit of love from our side of things. That's the whole methodology. But so I was thrilled to have this sort of pop up in the rotation. Like I didn't have to read anything, just sort of worked out the way. And like I was sitting there going, "Fuck yes!" I couldn't wait to get around to this one. In some ways, this particular thing, releasing an acoustic EP or CD or whatever else, is something I'm surprised they haven't done earlier, because I've done a lot of acoustic gigs. I've seen them acoustic almost as many times as I've seen them electric. But in other ways, whilst I'm surprised it's taken this long, I'm glad they waited until now, because this collection of songs is the collection of songs to do this for. We loved the album last year, Future Echoes. That's no shock there at all. So I considered it, having followed this band since the beginning, their best work to date. So having these songs put forward in this light, I think made perfect sense from my point of view. This band have always had that acoustic side to them. I've seen them perform in that mode numerous times, like I was saying before, and it's always fantastic. They have finally, after a lot of years now, nearly 10 years, I think, something like that, finally captured, and beyond for these guys if you follow their career overall, not just Cicadastone. But they have finally captured that acoustic essence for everyone to enjoy without having to go out to the pub to see them. Doing this while revisiting their latest work a year on is a great touch. I think it's a great little marketing trick. I think it, again, using their best songs to date is a great little way to go into this one. However, we do also get the new song in this one. So this is fresh in more ways than one. It's not only just reimagining of songs that are still new and fresh to us all, but having a new, previously unreleased track on here gives you another point that makes you want to go and check it out, which I thought was fantastic. Now, as with everything this band has done, it's all about the emotions and how they're conveyed. And this setting, using acoustic, works damn well when it comes to enhancing that experience for the listener. It makes it so much more personal to me. Without the wall of sound, the vulnerability that is in these songs, lyrically and vocally in particular, it just hits so much harder. The space left for the vocals to ring out and for the lyrics to seep into your soul is just something else. This is particularly resonant with tracks such as the title track for me. I loved it in the original electrified form. Here it is just as stunning in a slightly different way. The whole point of things like this is to show how good the songs are, as far as I'm concerned. There's no room to hide, and this is entirely dependent on how good your craft is. If you can't hide in the studio because you're doing an acoustic thing, like you have to be good at what you do, and this shows you how good they really are. Safe to say, as far as I'm concerned, this is phenomenal. I love the tones. The rearrangement so far on these songs is different, but it's kept the core melodies and their trademark harmonies. I love the use of reverb on this one as well. There were some great moments on these where they just really let things ring out, and it was just wonderful to listen to. I loved how the drums were here with a bit of snap in the snare, for example, but they're also just swapped out for just straight percussion at some points, like, bongos and things like that. Just little percussion.
Yeah.
I think the overall mix is stunning, but you should expect no less now from Matt Robbins and Color Sound. I think if you're looking for someone to produce your album, you can talk to him and be very, very happy with what he'll give you. And not just acoustic and rock stuff. He's done some killer metal stuff too. But yeah, I loved how, this sounds great, but also, like I said on the 74 Kings one, this is about how you can use the studio as an additional instrument to fantastic effect, even in the acoustic setting. I think that's proven here. It's not that it overpowers or hides anything. It's just using things like reverb to enhance the dramatic effect of the way
Absolutely.
that things are left to haunt you after the song is done, or in the middle of the song, or to add a pause to make a certain lyrical sequence land. Is really well done here, and that's enhanced by the use of the studio. You could do this live as well, but just having those deft touches, it's got to be subtle. It's got to be very subtle for this sort of music, and it's done to such good effect on this album. This is also a great release that, to me, accents and highlights the brilliance of the original album in a lot of respects. This is a great companion to it. These songs on this EP have stayed with me since we listened to them on the album Future Echoes last year. About 18 months ago now, I think, Jeff, you and I reviewed it. But listening to this EP in this context kind of solidifies for me just how memorable these songs truly are. Their craft, performance, writing, all of it works so well in this setting. I've always believed that if you write a song that's good on acoustic, it'll transfer well to electric, but not always the way around. This is kind of case in point. Everything here just works perfectly. I think the song choices were fantastic. They picked the cream of the crop for this release, but the addition of that previously unreleased track is just a cherry on top. Even hearing Long Way Down for the first time on this release, it just fit straight away. There was nothing out about it. When you listen to this, it would have worked on the original album as you go through things. And so it also leaves you wondering just what other gold they left off of that album last year and what else is sort of hopefully coming out for us in the not too distant future. But on the flip side, this is so damn tight because it's so well performed, but it's also incredibly warm, organic. There's nothing snapped here at all. This is real, and that's the beautiful part about it. All the years of doing those acoustic shows have paid off and led to this moment as far as I'm concerned. The last couple of years overall for Cicadastone, between this and the actual album last year, are just phenomenal, and I just wish more people were listening to this band. And that's the point of what we do here. I just want people to listen to this fucking album. It's really all incredibly simple. You get your best songs, perform them on acoustic, and it sounds simple in principle, but execution is the key, and to do it this well is beyond impressive. But that's all this is at its core. It's just acoustic reworking of songs already in their kit, but the ability not only to perform them so well, but to present it so well is something to behold. I don't know how many in years gone by have succeeded with that. There's a question to dovetail into this one that I'm going to cut and use for something else, but we'll put it here as well. Like, the question I have up for me that comes to mind listening to this EP is, a lot of bands have done the acoustic treatment of songs or the unplugged thing or whatever else have you. The question I would ask the audience out there that watch this is, what are your favorite acoustic versions of songs that were previously released on electric from any band at all? Because I ask that question because for me, in terms of execution, song quality, songwriting, performances, all of this is right up there. In terms of finding songs from an album and giving the acoustic treatment, this is just a special, special moment that's incredibly well executed. This is just one of my favorites already in that genre. They managed to keep that rocked up tone in just the right ways and moments as well, with songs like Last in Line and Whisper to My Lonely Self. The mood shifts here are impressively done. I'm also glad they put those ones toward the end of the EP because that just made the flow work even better. As with everything with this band, you know what you're getting. There's nothing suddenly out of the box here. It's 90s influenced, all those things. You know, the Alice in Chains has been done to death, but there's so much more to this band than those things. And I think that this addition to their catalog or the repertoire of this acoustic release is just a great, proof in the pudding moment for these guys, just how good they are and how much more there is to them than just the stereotypical comparisons. The only surprise here, which shouldn't be a surprise by now, is just how stunning it is as far as I'm concerned. But for me, I said at the top, I'm glad they waited until now in hindsight to finally release something like this. But now that I've had a taste, I want fucking more. I just want more. That whole more meme thing from Star Wars is kind of fitting here. That's how I'm feeling. I am beyond hooked. So, that whole more, I just want more. I want more of this, please. People, if you're watching, listening, whatever else, just give this album your time. Please, please do. If you like it, please tell your friends as well. Same with 74Kings before. Spread the word, because not only is this music worth it, but the people involved in this particular project are worth it. They are such good people, and I would love to get them as much success as we can from our little corner of the world here too. I think that this is a band that deserves more attention simply. They're one of our best, genuinely. I think I would love to see people rally around this one and spread the word, not only because the music is worth it, but the people are too. There's something here for any newcomers as far as I'm concerned. This is one of those ones where the talent on display is worth the time alone. This isn't the creative madness of a Mike Mills, for example, but it's no less impactful and in some ways hits harder with the emotive weight that these songs have and the way they hit you and just land. One of my final thoughts here is that music is emotion expressed in a tangible form, and this is one of the prime examples you'll ever find of that in my experience. I love this. This is going to be up there at the end of the year for me. This also makes me long to pick up my guitar again, which is just something else, and to even try the vocals again too. I'm going to go out of the gate here, Jeff, and give it 10 shots for me. I loved everything about this one, and like I said, I want more. So, if I have to pick standouts, Future Echoes, The Hurricane, Long Way Down, Last in Line, and more songs, like I said before, there is something here for absolutely everyone, and I think that more people should absolutely get a band. So please do, and give us your thoughts out there as well. Michael's gone, Cicadastone, such a great band, dragged me in big time, so much depth to writing and sounds great. Here, as far as I'm concerned. Yes. Ula's here saying, ahoy, they're all late to the party, but we'll go back and watch after. I'll watch what I missed later on. Good to see you. Doesn't matter when you get here, as long as you get here in the end and you enjoy it whenever you get a chance to. Anyone see Fate Gear last week? Well, not me, unfortunately. I don't know if anyone else did, but get in the comments and chat away. And like I said before, the other question I had was like, what's your favorite sort of acoustic rendition of a song before, and which ones are your favorites? Because we could almost do like a top 10 or a mini battle series on the Sundays.
That's interesting.
As a concept. So maybe we should ask some people about their favorite.
I'd like that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one to do on the Sundays. We'll see how we go. But yeah, give us your thoughts, folks. Get around it. Like, the whole point of this is just to show people what the fuck is out there and give people a chance to discover these bands. Like Cicadastone we talked about before, but 74Kings earlier tonight we haven't talked about. And same thing with April Art and League of Distortion. Again, more things we haven't discussed. Other things we have like Alter Bridge and that. So there's a good little mix of old and new, and not old, anything old in here. They're all new songs, but things that we have talked about before in the past and things we haven't talked about ever before. And this is sort of a little taste of what we're going to be trying to achieve over the coming weeks as we get toward the end of the year. There are more changes to sort of come to this little testing phase. Like, we've got a couple of months here to try a couple of things out. So we're gonna have some fun with it. And Jeff and I have been plotting way behind the scenes and getting Dave and Bill's input on things as well. Everyone's still well and truly attached. We have some ideas coming up, but we'll get to those things as the weeks roll. I've got a couple of things to get through before I can really hit it hard, but we're going to get there sooner rather than later. I'm sure about that. But that's pretty much the premise. We want to wrap these shows up in about that hour time frame as well. I'll add a bit of things like more like gigs and that. I haven't been able to get it, like with all the workload, day-to-day life has just sort of gotten in the way this week. But I do want to do more like maybe do like a mini gig guide or something into this little show that we're doing for the next little bit as well, as opposed to a news segment. Do more like album and show announcements kind of thing. I don't know. We're going to tweak it, play with it. If you've got ideas, by all means, get in the comments and let us know. But what you'd like to see out of a shorter, more sort of impactful stream versus dragging on, because there's only two of us. We can't really do the games. It's not going to work that well on a week-to-week basis when it's like, guess this, and like it's only one of us here to guess anything. So it's just sort of like not quite the same impact.
No.
But that's it. We're going to be doing a bit more behind the scenes too. So check out our Patreon page if you want to get more involved in just even the free tier. Don't worry about it. You'll get regular updates there. We're treating it like a little message board for people to go and check things out because we don't post a lot on the other social media channels. So just, that's our little, during the free part, you'll get like the bulletin stuff. Follow us on Discord. Otherwise, get involved in the conversation in Discord as well. There are links to those things either in the description box or you can find them at thehardrockshow.com and follow the links there. Ula's gone, gig guide would be great, which we'll try and work on that one as well. That's definitely something I want to get back to. I think that'll be more beneficial than just sort of the quote unquote news segment that we were doing before. But it's this whole next couple of months is just going to be us sort of fucking with shit and seeing what works. Like literally, that's all it's going to be. We're just going to have some fun with it and see how we go and try a few things out. I don't know, Jeff. I thought it's a short, sharp one, but I thought it was pretty fun all the same. How'd you feel?
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. You just do what you got to do and in and out.
Try things, have a bit of fun. I need
to
sleep as well this week in particular. I need to sleep as well. I've already done like 8 hours of overtime this week. It's like I've done 5 days of work in 4 and I'm exhausted this week. I was finishing my notes off before. And Jody, who, as always, has said hello to everyone out there.
Hello, Jody.
Jumped in and sort of had to tap me on the arm because I was sitting in, falling asleep in the chair. I was like, I'm going to finish my notes off and get cracking. But at the same time, for listening to our Patreons, I also didn't want to miss a week just because we're a bit tired. I wanted to try and make it so that we can manage it no matter what happens. And it's a lot easier to get through an hour than it is to get through 2 or 3. I think not only for us, but also for the people watching the show as well.
Absolutely. For sure.
Something we're going to try it, see what happens. Michael's on stream flow, great for mine as well. For mine, well done, guys. Thank you for the kind words. We are, like I said, going to tweak and play with things, but taking into feedback taking into account all the comments and feedback we got from Patreon as well. I'm looking forward to sort of seeing how we can sort of implement a lot of those things. Maybe not immediately, but there are some cool ideas that I do want to explore, and we'll work on trying to implement something in some way for everyone's little thoughts and all sorts of stuff as well. But we're getting toward the end. I'm going to start to wrap this up. Is there anything else you wanted to add here, Jeff, before we go to raise a glass? Because we do have to raise a glass if we do it every show. We're not going to stop doing that.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, we'll get out of here in a second. Before we do, it's time to raise a glass, Jeff. So what do we got to raise a glass to this week?
To Brisbane winning the grand final.
It's not even done yet. But well done. Yeah, no, my team got knocked out last week, so whatever. I'm a completely neutral person now.
I don't give a shit. I'm St. Kilda, so and they can't even make the fucking fuck that.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So what the fuck? So I don't care, but I don't like Geelong that much. Yeah. So
fair enough. You pick who you pick. I'm just like, it is what it is. I've seen both of them win before, and I've lost to both of them in grand finals as well. So I'm like, There's a lot of trauma dumping in there. Cats and Lions have beaten Collingwood a few times in grand finals. I'm not happy about that one. So they're not happy memories when that happened. But that said, we did beat Brisbane a few years ago, so we'll see what happens. For my raise a glass this week, it's funny how this year has been one of change and a few things going on. And it's the whole thing about, like for me, for example, wearing glasses for the first time in my life this year now. It's sort of coming on, this whole thing about getting older and things changing and all that kind of stuff. But I actually want to raise a glass. Even though a lot of us bellyache about it, I want to raise a glass to getting older, because every so often you get a little bit of a reminder that not everyone is fortunate enough to grow old. So I'm raising a glass to the fact that we're here and get to enjoy the days we have as we slowly fade away. I'd rather enjoy that time and have it than not have it at all. So raising a glass to time passing and us being here for longer. Absolutely. Not everyone gets it, so it's a privilege. I'm going to take the drink to that.
Couldn't agree more. Right. Very nice touch. Thank you.
Anyway, Ula says, cheers, Andrew. Appreciate the dedication and effort. Well, it's not just me, it's all of us here. So it's you guys are all behind the scenes too in Patreon. I know you're all there. So it's a whole family thing. I hope everyone feels a part of that. And I would like to explore that more and see what we can do to make that more of the truth of what we do and who we are as time progresses forward from this on. And Michael's on here, Andrew. Well, thank you for that. And it's just one of those things where I think it's important to pay attention to things, because it's nice to be grateful for what you have. Because I think having a positive mindset is a good thing. Alrighty. But on that note, positive mindset and all, I think it's time for us to mosey on out of here. For Patreon people, we'll see you on Sunday. We'll do a couple of things there, and we'll start to explore new ideas as well. We look forward to your company then. And otherwise, for the rest of you out there, See us on TV, 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights on Channel 44 Adelaide. You'll actually be able to watch us if you get off the stream now, so that's all right. And then also 10:30 p.m. in our traditional slot, as always, on Saturday nights in Channel 31 in Melbourne. Catch us on TV. You can catch us on our live stream next Thursday night as well. You can catch us on Sunday for Patreon too if you're there. And Ula's gone. Great to see Jeff too. So there we go. Jeff too, of course. It's everyone. It is absolutely everyone. And it's good to see you guys here as well. Man Family here saying night all. Same with Michael. Good to see you all. But we'll catch you all very, very soon. Until next time, though, as always, you know what to do. That's Jeff there on the other side of the screen. I'm Andrew. We'll catch you in a little bit. Until next time, drink up. Rock on.
Cheers.